You know what a great quote is? No defeat is final until death. That's a great quote. I don't know where I heard that, but it was somewhat recently. People, have you heard the meme, it's so over, well, it's so back, but it's so over, it's so back? It's a big kind of popular meme lately. There's so many times in life where it feels like it's completely over, you know? But when it's most over is right when it's about to be the most back at the same exact time. It's kind of the duality of life, because no defeat is permanent, no defeat is final until death, you know? In life, constantly, there's all these different domains that we're trying to balance between our personal relationships, between, finances, between all these, health, right? Health, that's a big one, obviously, because health is the one that can end it all. And we're always in these dynamics of like, oh, I'm broke right now. That business deal didn't go well. Or, damn, she's mad at me. Like, shoot, I don't know if I'm gonna come back from this. Or, you get sick, right? You get sick and you just kind of feel like shit. But defeat is not final until death. Too many people treat defeat or setback or failure as if it is, the final arbiter, as if that's look at what's big boy Morty. Look at big boy Morty. He's exploring the chair. He loves the chair. But no defeat's final until death, right? Even when we experience these setbacks, it feels like it's over. It feels terrible, but you're just setting yourself up for the ultimate success down the road by being persistent, by keeping and doing it. You know what I mean? The great adventure cannot be set back by small failures. It's actually part of the great adventure. You can't allow yourself to become disillusioned with the beauty of the world just because one thing doesn't go right for you. There's too many people who, they get beat down by life. Life beats them. And it can be tough because life can beat the shit out of you, right? But they'll get beaten and they'll say, oh, it's done for me. It wasn't meant to be, blah, blah. And then you become cynical and jaded and never make anything of yourself. You live in fear. You live in lack. That's no way to live, In the United States of America right now, I don't know where you're watching this from, but here, this is the land of abundance. You gotta have the spirit of abundance. You gotta say, there will be another chance, there will be another opportunity. I'm coming back for it, These setbacks happen, That's a part of life. That's a natural thing. Not every day is a good day. Now, you can try to attack every day with the same zeal and the same energy and renewed focus and all that, but sometimes you're going to have good days and sometimes you're going to have bad days. And a lot of people, they overreact to the bad days, and when all you think about is a bad day, then that's where your mind goes instinctually. Your mind just keeps kind of returning to the well. It's like, oh, well, what's going to happen this time? What bad thing is going to happen today? You can't have that mentality towards the world. You got to be looking towards the new and exciting. You got to realize that failure is not a permanent setback, that defeat is not final until death. You can always keep fighting. You can always keep showing up. I think it makes sense to always keep a perspective of what the backup plan would be. If you went broke and nothing was working, couldn't you just get a minimum wage job, be homeless, scrap together enough money to buy a camper van and travel the world? Isn't that a level of freedom that most people aspire to? And that's your worst case scenario. Realistically, it is. If you shirked all your other responsibilities, whatever. Yeah, that's not plan A for a lot of people, but it is a plan, and it's something that's doable, and it's something that doesn't take a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time to throw together, to cobble together if you had to do it. What if there's something you want to pursue, some goal or vision or whatever that you have in mind, and you try it and you kind of fail at it? Man, maybe it'll sting. Maybe it'll sting. You ever been stung by a bee? Unless you're allergic, it's very temporary. Nobody's allergic to failure. We as humans are kind of magnets for failure. It's something that happens to all of us, even and probably especially the most successful of us, you know? Look at his big dookie right here, Morty. He's a good boy. He doesn't want to necessarily be on video right now. I can tell in the way he approaches the world, but he spends all day in this yard chasing lizards around. That's probably why he's kind of got up on this chair. He always likes sniffing the chair for lizards. When I'm not filming, we'll watch him from around the yard, right? From the windows in there, etc. And he likes to come out here and kind of search for lizards and really try to get them. And he's caught a lizard like maybe 5 times. I don't know if he's too slow. He kind of misses them sometimes. He doesn't actually realize that he's been juked out. Like he'll search under the same, it's like a kind of trash bin over there. He's been searching for a lizard under that thing for 6 months because he saw it once, you know? But Big Boy Morty doesn't give up. He goes out in the yard every single day and chases lizards, you know? He loves it. He does it for the love of the game. That's the true spirit of adventure. You gotta just do things for the love of it and say, I may succeed or I may fail. It doesn't actually matter though. Because no defeat's final until death. Look at like Colonel Sanders, who was in his 60s before he made it. And he'd been trying to make it for some time. Charles Bukowski, famous writer, I think that's his name. He was like a vulgar poet or something like that. I don't know. But that dude didn't make it. He'd been trying to write for many years. Finally became somewhat notorious for it, or famous, or whatever word you want to use, when he was like already in his 50s and deemed a failure. I think he was working some job that would be considered to be a dead-end job. You know, there's another guy on YouTube, and he just, it's kind of funny. I forget his name, but he posts these videos of him working at like convenience stores. And he appears to really enjoy working at convenience stores. Like the dream is for him to one day open up his own convenience store. I find that fantastic because life is what you make of it, you know? For a lot of people, they would say, I'm working at a convenience store, like that's a failure. Well, this guy, he's made his brand around it and he actually seems to really enjoy it. And all the power to you, you know? Because we all enjoy our own things. All the power to you if that's the thing you're after. So failure is only temporary. You get a bad email from your boss, you missed an email at work, or, you know, something that feels like the end. It's like, oh, they're gonna be so pissed at me, dude. Like, they're gonna be so mad, fucking blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Doesn't matter, all right? Don't care about these things. It'll all resolve itself, all right? Sometimes you gotta put a little elbow grease in. I'm not saying you don't have to work to come back from failure. You can't just roll over and die, you know? That's final defeat. But all these things that seem like such major setbacks, such major negatives, it's woozy wazy, fugazi fugazi, angel dust, you know? It doesn't matter. It's not real. It's ethereal. It's all mental. All right? And there's the negative voice on the shoulder that always wants to hold you back from the adventure, always wants to tell you, hey man, you're not good enough. You can't do this. It doesn't matter. They won't see the value in this, blah, 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 blah. You gotta shut that voice out, all right? That voice wants you to think that failure is real, that setbacks are real. These are not real, they're concepts, all right? That voice wants you to think that that is as real as the sun in the sky, right? As real as water is wet. Jeez, look at this. Maybe I'm even failing to make a decent video because the sun is right in my eye. Maybe I should set up my studio the other way. Would that be better? No, the lighting is far worse here. See, this would be a failure, but the success is I can just switch the camera around and be fine, be totally all right. A lot of times it's that little change in perspective, that little change in angle. Sometimes you're hammering your head against the wall. I'm failing. You don't realize that the thing you had to change is actually a very small adjustment. But we become blind to our problems when we're in it. We listen to that devil on the shoulder voice. Oh, you can't do that. You're not cut out for this. Maybe you can't be that guy. there's a certain delusional belief and ability to push through these minor setbacks. That's what sets the people who really achieve their goals and their dreams apart from the people who are just beaten down by life. It's fucked up because it's really such a small adjustment, and it's not IQ related either. I feel like the smarter people, the paper smarter people, are ones that can be more easily cannibalized by negative thoughts because they're so used to thinking and trusting their thoughts because their thoughts are smart all the time. But the person who has no time for that negative thinking and just says, I can do it, they can do it, dude, because they understand a fundamental truth that failure is a temporary setback. And frankly, people with a lower IQ have probably experienced a little more failure and realized that they didn't explode into a ball of flame. It can be kind of scary for someone who's smarter to endure failure because they view it as a grand, catastrophe, which invalidates their existence of, I'm so smart, I'm so sharp, Listen, it's a good thing to be smart and sharp, but have some humility and realize that it ain't all about you and nobody cares if you are set back, and that's a blessing. That's the greatest thing on the planet Earth. All right. So when you're pursuing the great adventure and you hit these roadblocks, and when I say the great adventure, what I'm talking about, I don't want to leave you lost in metaphor here. I'm just talking about your life's goal, your life's vision, what you want to get to, finding the woman, starting a family, getting the job or the promotion, or building your business or whatever. The great adventure. Obviously, you're going to reach failures, dude. Have you ever seen a movie? Have you ever read a book? Those characters experience setbacks all the time. That's the whole point of the damn book or the movie, So do you respond in accordance with that and say, hey, it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to power through, and I'm going to have a happy ending to this. I'm going to continue on a great adventure. Or do you shrink into a cocoon? Far too many people shrink. They give too much credence to this voice that says you can't do it. The voice is wrong. The voice doesn't even exist. It's in your head. Devil on his shoulder. It's not a real thing. Big boy Morty can chase lizards all day because he doesn't have voices in his head. He just says, I want beef. His only driver in life is just eating food and getting rubs on the belly. It's a simple existence, and it allows him to succeed fantastically and wildly at getting fed and getting pats on the belly. Literally, that's kind of how, house dogs or whatever, they figured out that if they just do those things, they can live happy lives. And they've been doing that for thousands of years. We have this great example right in front of us, and none of us can take it. If there's something you wanted, just be single-minded about it, Just be single-minded and don't take no for an answer. When Big Boy here wants belly pets, he just gets on his back, and he won't turn over until he gets his belly pets. If you've been around dogs, you know that if you're eating a meal, they'll just look at you like, sounds right in my eyes, and they'll just look at you like that until they get fed, right? Because closed mouths don't get fed. It's the truth. That's the truth. It's universal truth. So keep showing up, all right? Push through it, right? I'm about to go to the office. First day of the new job, actually, today. Exciting stuff. Listen, there's pros and cons to that, all right? There's pros and cons to that. I've mentioned it on this channel before in some other video, but I probably worked a couple too many jobs for my own liking. But it's a sales job. It's a job I know very well. It's something I'm returning. It's an industry I'm returning to. And when I got out of it, I was of the mindset like, damn, not like this is hard, but I'm just putting in so much work. It can be so frustrating, blah, blah, blah. I was younger and I didn't have that full appreciation that there's good days and bad days in life. Who cares, all right? If you're doing something you're good at, maybe it's worth just saying, hey, I'm good at this, and I don't care if it's a good day or a bad day, because I lead with my example. I push through failure and setback and kind of negative emotions sometimes and come out the other side stronger for it. So I'll leave you on that. Don't let failure get in the way of a great adventure.